If you want to know how to refill your ink cartridges on an HP OfficeJet printer like this one, then stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this video. Hey YouTube, what is going on? The printer guy here, and today I've got the HP OfficeJet Pro 6978. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to refill ink cartridges that are original HP ink cartridges. That's very important because this printer will not accept third-party ink. And so I'm going to be showing you how to refill those original ink cartridges in this video. And I'm going to be using my very own product, the Best Printers Cleaning Kit. If you're needing to do a cleaning and a refill, this is going to be the perfect product for you because I have an attachment in this kit that will allow you to actually do a refill as well, and that's what I'm going to be showing you in this video. Now there's going to be a link for this product down in the description below, so at any time during the video you can pause, go down there, click the link, and come back and watch the rest of this video. If this video ends up being helpful, please make sure to like. Any questions at all, comment below, and if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. I'm also going to be leaving a link to the bottled ink that you're going to need to pull from to actually put into the ink cartridges. That's going to be linked down below as well. The cleaning kit will be the first link though, because you buying this product really does help support this channel. And so you have this kit which will help you clean out your print head if you need to in the future, or if you currently need to. It's an all-in-one product that's really going to help you solve multiple problems. All right, so let's get started. All right, so this is the error message I'm getting. It says non-HP chip detected. So this printer will not allow you to use third-party ink, which is what I have installed. I usually try to go third-party ink because it's less expensive and the ink quality is usually about the same. But this is what I ended up installing. This doesn't work, so I'm gonna have to remove these, and I'm gonna show you right now how to refill the original ink cartridges, which I do have those on hand. If you don't have those on hand, you're probably gonna have to just buy some. Maybe you can buy some used on eBay, I don't know, and refill those. But I'm gonna show you, if you do have your original ink on hand, how to refill them right now. All right, so what we will need is, of course, the Best Printers Cleaning Kit. This is a cleaning kit and refill kit all in one. You're gonna need some ink. All right, so this is everything you're going to need. You've got the cleaning kit, you've got the ink that you're gonna use, and we've got our ink cartridges. These are our original ink cartridges, and we want these because they have the original chip that this printer is looking for. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on one color at a time. I've already started on yellow. Okay, so my cleaning kit does include gloves. I do highly recommend that you wear gloves for this project. And I also highly recommend that you get yourself some paper towel. I imagine you would have some in the kitchen. Doesn't matter what type of paper towel, but you're gonna need it to set up your kit. And as you go along and as you do this, if you're using my kit, then it's gonna be one syringe, one attachment, and that's gonna be with all the colors. As long as you are cleaning in between with water or isopropyl alcohol or cleaning solution, you should be able to move through the different colors with no issues at all. Attachment comes like this. This tubing is already going to be attached to this 20 milliliter syringe, and all you're going to do is pop this out and lay it to the side. We're going to fill up with this yellow ink. Okay, so you're going to take your syringe. I would say maybe don't do more than 5 milliliters. It's not necessary to do more than 5 milliliters. So you're going to go and do about that much, even is good. These ink cartridges don't hold a whole lot of ink. And just remember, I've already started on this ink cartridge, so I'm not going to be able to fill much. And then I'm going to switch between. So then you're going to take your attachment here. Take your attachment, going to attach it just like this. Okay, fully attached. I would have a lot of paper towel on hand because this can get messy quickly. And then you're going to take your ink cartridge, and you see I tried here by the 902, but there is a hole in the center here of the ink cartridge that you're going to want to puncture. I've already punctured it, so on the second cartridge you're going to see me puncture it. But this is now, this is where I'm able to actually put that in. It doesn't go too deep, but then it's going to allow you to actually push some ink through. So if we take that, we're going to put our cartridge in here. A paper towel under or in a plastic container like this that can be washed out later is going to be ideal. So now I'm going to start pushing some of this ink in here. And as you can see, it's already overflowing a little bit. So there's not much room in there for any more ink. It's absorbing the majority because I've already filled it, and it's coming out the bottom. So that is how I know that this ink cartridge is full and it's ready to go. It's ready to be used. Now, as far as this hole goes, we don't want to leave it uncovered like that necessarily. So I'm going to throw some tape on that. And so once you're fully satisfied and you can clean this off, I'm going to put a clear piece of tape. If you have other types of tape laying around, that's going to work as well. As long as it's not covering any chips, you're going to cover that up. Make sure it's totally covered, and there you go. Now, if you need to refill again, you simply will puncture the top of that tape and go back into that hole. And you should be able to do that. So let's say I needed to come back here and redo this. I can simply puncture that tape. And now I've got in again. And I'm feeling like I can probably fill this in a little bit more. I'm gonna wipe that down. I'm gonna put another piece of tape on there now. All right, so now I'm done with yellow. So what I need to do now is any ink that's not used, I'm gonna put it back in here. And so what we'll need to do is we'll need to get some water or isopropyl alcohol. So we'll get some isopropyl alcohol or water in a container like that, and we're gonna suction that in, push it out, suction in, push it out, kind of just wash out that previous color. As long as you push that out with some air, the syringe is using air to push that out. This is where we're going to puncture, right where you see the M is where you're going to puncture this one. And the puncturing is just going to be, now you can pre-puncture this, but you really don't need to. Okay, just like that. Got in there. And push it in as far as we can. And this is where we're going to actually start to push the ink into the system, into the ink cartridge. So here we go. We're going to push the ink in until it starts to come out the bottom, and even a little bit should be coming out the top as well. So you see a little bit just came out the top. That's how we know it's pretty full. And at this point, we're going to remove this attachment, and a bunch of ink is now spewing out. It's a good sign. That means that we have some ink back in the system. There's about 2.5 milliliters of this ink now in the system. Can't hear it shake, but there is ink in the system. Okay. All right, so we're gonna wipe this down. Small piece of tape. Once it's wiped down, we can take the piece of tape, put it over the hole. If you've got a smaller piece of tape that's clear, or something that might work better, that's not as big, that would work too. But here we are. All right, so those were the two colors that we absolutely needed to fill. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this kit aside, and I'm going to now install all of the ink back into the printer, and I'm going to see if that works. If you needed to fill the black, you would do right where the K is. That's where you would start to fill. That's where you would puncture a hole, and that's where you could fill it. But when I shake it, I feel ink, and when I dab it, there's ink that comes out. So that means that I don't need to necessarily do anything with this cartridge. And so magenta we filled, yellow we filled, and cyan is the same situation. I can even hear the ink around in there, pumping around, and so that tells me that there's ink ready to go. So I'm not gonna do black and cyan because there's already ink in my set, but if you needed to replace them for cyan, it would be where that C is. That is where you would puncture it, and that's where you would be able to install the ink. Now, a good test that I like to do before installing is you see black and cyan there, and let me try yellow now. Yellow has ink that's coming through. Magenta has ink that's coming through as well. And so that tells me that they are ready to be reinstalled on this printer. This is where you can now reinstall your ink. You've verified that ink is coming through. As long as that is the case, these should be good to install. Here's my yellow that I refilled. And next is cyan, which we did not refill, but did not need, because it did not need refilling. And install that there. And here's our magenta, which we just refilled. I'm gonna push that through. It has about at least 2.5 milliliters in cyan and magenta. Between magenta and yellow, we've put about 2.5 milliliters in each of them. So that's what we're expecting is the absolute maximum you can place in there, simply because it started overflowing after that. Alright, so at this point, I'm trying to get to the point where I can print off a print quality report. You're going to get some messages in regards to the ink. Don't worry too much about these. Just click OK on them. As long as there's nothing major and it's not stopping you from printing, just click OK. These printers are very sensitive with the ink cartridges. So this is why it's one of the best options for you to actually refill. So I'm going to go to the settings and it blurs out, I'm so sorry, printer maintenance, and then clean print head is what I'm clicking there. Clicking continue. I'm allowing the print head to be cleaned several times. It actually takes me about 10 to 11, 12 times to go through this cleaning, print off a print quality report, and you'll see how many print quality reports I actually ended up having to print off. I have to actually end up coming back and refilling my cyan and black. I had mentioned that I didn't need to fill them, but actually I did end up needing to fill them so that there could be more ink volume pushing through the system. The whole reason I'm doing this is because I did a print head cleaning with my cleaning kit. So ink needs to be pushed back into the system. Usually you lose most of your color, but then when you put these ink cartridges back, do a print head cleaning, and do that several times, then you should come back to printing normally again. And that's what ends up happening here in this video. So here it is. I am filling up the black ink cartridge, and after that I end up reinstalling, doing a bunch of cleanings. That's not here in the video, so I could save you the time, but this is the end result. Those papers that you see on top, I'm gonna shuffle through them here in just a moment, but this is the end result. Totally crystal clear print quality, and this is what ended up being the result. But through that process, I actually had to print off a bunch of these other print quality reports where, you know, the colors were actually not printing exactly how they needed to. So it does take some time and patience. If you're doing a cleaning, this is a great alternative. Instead of buying new ink cartridges, you can actually just refill your current ink cartridges. Now remember, all of the product links that are down in the description below. I really hope that this information that's in this video was helpful. If it was, please make sure to like. Any questions at all, comment below. And if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. But that's really all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.